So we're checking this baby out, and I should probably put some light on the subject. Yeah, so we're doing this. It's turning out pretty good. Not too bad. It's definitely the giant pig sticker. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty cool. So we're doing that. And then the other thing we're ended up doing is we are printing a Boss Orc. So we're going to see how this works out. We're printing it on the Creality K2 Plus. So I wanted you to take a look. So we'll come over here and we'll just kind of do this. Yeah, I know the light is bright. And that is the dude that we're trying to print. So with that, this could be kind of interesting because he is quite the dude. And we're printing him at 0.08 layer height. And pretty much everything else is stock. Over here we got 3 wall loops. We've got gyroid, 5% density, infill. Nothing really crazy there. First layer speeds, all of this is stock except for this one right here at overhang speed of 60. So we'll see how that goes. And then we did enabled supports, tree auto slim on the build plate only. And our top G distance is 0.25, which I think I might, I might change that back to 2.4. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, nice going on the Orc. It is, whether it prints or not, that's going to be something else. Let's see, what else do we got? Support object wide distance 0.4 and no prime tower, and I don't think we did an outer brim. Maybe we did. I don't know. We'll have to take a look at that and we'll see. So 0.8 layer height. So this guy should end up pretty good. We see that we've got him printing as we speak, and if you see that, we've got, it's a little bit of a problem, area. We got about 3 hours, and we're about, 3 hours, 8 minutes. So this should be an interesting little thing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look and I'll show you what we got going on. And again, the printer is printing. So we're doing that. The problem was that what happened is I watch the first couple of layers, and once that looks like it's good, then I'll just go and do whatever I want. I came back to check on it, and I was like, oh no, because on this, it ends up that we had a disconnect. So right where, if we could try to get that, set focus, right underneath the foot on the right is raised up. And even though it had supports, it ended up, it wasn't touching the foot. And so the foot was kind of hanging in midair, bouncing back and down as the print head was laying down filament. So it was like, uh-oh, what are we gonna do here? And so I tried using tape, that didn't work. And so I used like blue tack to get that going in there. So I shoved that blue tack underneath the foot, and we seem to be doing okay, I think. Yes, we are. So yeah, there's the base that we ended up doing. So the base came out pretty good, and we'll see how this goes. So yeah, we got about 5 hours and 2 minutes left. So this is going to be an 8-hour print. Again, this is printed at 0.08 layer height on the stock 0.4 nozzle. So yeah, this should be an interesting little interesting little guy that we get here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well, George. I tell you, that blue tack worked out wonderful. So yeah, it is quite the interesting little spectacle that we got going on, and yeah, that little bit of that little foot that was there wasn't staying up as it should have, and so I want to show you what I was talking about. So, and it's almost like the supports wasn't even touching it, and it was like a drastic not touching it. Yeah, it was about the gap was like, because we can see there how the foot is angled up and where the support was at. I mean, you could have fit a nickel in between the support and the model. So yeah, if we take a look at this, and I just kind of angled it back a little bit, and hopefully that would have worked. So when we do the preview of this, and I did, obviously you can tell that I did tree supports. I did tree slims, so we'll see how these go. But right down here, there was like, you can see that there's a big gap and there's no interface layers. So I'm wondering what the heck that is, but we have interface layers on this dark green that we've got there. And there's some other places where we've got interface layers as well. So I'm not sure why we didn't have interface layers on that bottom foot. So yeah, interesting. But then when we look at other places, we can see that there weren't interface layers. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I'm really kind of questioning this, and I guess I should probably take a look at the settings on this to see if this is something interesting. Nice going for an orc. Yeah, looking forward to this. We'll see how this goes. And we'll take a look at our settings over here. I'll just kind of get that in frame a little bit. So we got our layer heights. Everything is good there, but we want our interface layers. So that's going to be under support. So we have tree, slim. What I didn't ask, what were your results on the top Z distance for miniatures? I've been using 0.24. So yeah, that's kind of what we ended up doing. And if we look over here, we can see first layer 90, top Z distance 0.25, so I went just a little bit bigger. But our interface layers are 0 or 2. So I should have had 2 layers there. Bottom interface layers are 2. Normal support expansion. So I'm not sure why we didn't get interface layers on that bottom foot or on a lot of these other places on here. So kind of interesting. And I'm wondering, it says remove small overhangs. Maybe that's why. So that says remove small overhangs that could possibly need no supports. Let's try that, and then we'll slice this again, and we'll see if that ends up doing something. Dun, 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 dun. And we're at 70%. 75, 80, 80%, 95. And there, I think that was it. to remove the small overhangs, because what we end up having here is now we have those overhangs on that foot. And we can see that we've got interface layers all over this thing. So remove small overhangs. I don't think we should be doing that. So yeah, this will be interesting to see how this turns out. So that's setting there that possibly need no supports. But I can tell you that on that foot right there, we definitely needed those interface layers. So you may have to switch to manual supports in the future on some miniatures, says George. I might have to. We'll see. We will see. And this is the Tree Slim, so this is a little bit different. So when we're looking at this, this is going to be 9 hours and 40 minutes. This thing will cost me $1.57. So it's, yeah, I'm not complaining. Not bad, but 9 hours. But if we did tree normal, no, we want to do tree auto and leave it to default. And we're not going to do the remove small overhangs. Top Z distance 0.25. Everything else is fine. Support object XY distance 0.4. Usually I'll put that like 0.6. But I think we're good. So let's slice, and again, this is 0.8 millimeter for layer height. So if we slice this, hell of a better price in Games Workshop. Yeah, I know, right? $1.57 or whatever it was. And these will be the regular tree supports. So I'll be interested to see. I noticed the supports on that thing were pretty skimpy, small, let's put it that way. So, yeah, keeping our fingers crossed, And so with this, and this thing ends up, come on, hurry up, 95, boom. So a lot more significant supports. And that would be 10 hours and 21 minutes, $1.92 with the other supports. So we can see there as a significant amount of supports. So we can see on there. So that's why I went with the Tree Slim. I wanted to give that a shot and see what happens. Is it going to be worth it? Are we going to run into problems if we do the Slim? And we'll go back to the Slim and we'll see how everything goes. We'll slice this baby up again and we can kind of get a look at it and see how that goes. What if you adjust his orientation? Yeah, I could. I mean, the problem is with his feet, he doesn't really have a flat surface. So if I get one surface with the boot, if I get that flat and I have to drop it down, then I angle the model, the other foot's not going to be on the ground. And then the other reason I wanted to kind of angle it back a little bit is so that layer lines would be, let's see, layer lines would kind of be on the top. I don't know. It's just kind of an odd little thing. But let's go back, I'll show you. So if we choose the model, and we've got all these different things we could do. So this is the most flat part of his boot. And then that part of his foot, and we can see there's still a significant amount of support that would be needed there. But I guess this would be a little bit better. But it's not totally flat either. So, you know, I could, let's go ahead and hit move, and we will drop this baby down a little bit. and see, so we can get like a flat surface. So that way it's kind of down below just a hair. So you can see that. So that's down below, and then that's our line. So that would give us a real solid base on that one. But then we still have a little bit of, that whole thing would be gapped. So I guess I could take it down a little bit more until I start seeing, so we've got a little bit there. We can see some, those areas. So that would be in contact with the plate. I guess that could work a little bit better. But then on that, it's got some, yeah, like I said, it's got some kind of weird topology on that, or I don't know what you call it, but it's got a gap in there. And it just unsupported, it's just kind of like, I don't know. So that's why I kind of went back to my resin printing days, and I thought, well, we'll just kind of angle it back, and hopefully the supports would be able to handle that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. The slim supports, I'm not sure if that's going to be a good thing or not. Maybe a raft. I don't know. Can you do rafts on these? Let's see. We've got, honestly, I have no clue. We have skirt for all objects. Combined skirt loops. I don't know. I have never done skirts on here. The number of skirt loops, so that's not really kind of like what we're looking for. It would be a brim. And if we do an outer brim only, so technically we should be able to slice this guy up and we should have brims. We do on the base, but I don't think we had brims on the, we'll have to go and take a look at that and see. We'll see what happens with this guy. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, jam on it. 80, 95, okay. So there, yeah, we got a brim on there. If you look at from the bottom. Get off of there. Back up. So yeah, it's got a little bit of a brim there, but it's got that weird indentation there. So we're gonna have some support thing there or whatever. Not much of a brim. See what I mean? It's just gonna be kind of weird. I mean, the brim on the base came out great. But yeah, for $1.58. Oh, and how tall is this thing? Let's go to the top of his head to the bottom of his foot. And that ends up being about 71 millimeters, which it's going to be about that tall. So 2 3/4 inches is how that's going to come out. So again, just kind of doing, I was going to do it bigger, but then I was like, let's just see how this goes. And then, yeah, we'll take a look at it and see. But yeah, kind of a good character, I think. If you look at him, let's see if we can make him a different color. Yeah, the claws and everything, teeth, power whatever hands or whatever. That's kind of a cool looking guy, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes out. So yeah, a bit of a preview. And again, we'll go back and we'll take a look and see how he's turned out. Okay, dun 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 dun. Come on, there we go. So we're at 36% done. We got about 4 hours and 45 minutes. We're using Polymaker PLA, so we're doing that. And I'm kind of nervous. With those small tree supports. But the base came out great. That came out real good. And again, that blue tack, that is the bomb. That works better than tape. Yeah, the details on the base are pretty impressive indeed. Yeah. So in the blue tack, that's going to be my go-to. I think I'm going to order some more of that blue tack just in case, because that will definitely help. As far as I'm not too confident in those tree slim supports for a miniature because some of those supports are awfully tiny. I don't know. I'm thinking there might be a bit of movement on those. So not sure. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's what we've got going on. Other stuff that we got besides this guy. Oh, kind of. Wait a second. What am I doing here? There we go. So we can kind of keep an eye on this. Some other stuff that we got going on is we have our Tyranid. So this will be my second Tyranid, the same as the other one except bigger. And then, yeah, I think this is going to rock out pretty good. So we did that. So that's all primed and ready to go. And then earlier today, we worked on the volcanic base that we're going to be doing with him. So yeah, we'll make sure that this gets all dried. And then we'll put a matte lacquer on it to seal that in, all that frosty spackle goodness that we tried out. So hopefully that'll work. And then, yeah, we can start painting that. I'll probably do the black for the rocks and everything, and I'll probably use an airbrush for that. And then go through, I don't know, I could take that off. You know, and where the gray is at, I could take that off, maybe. Well, no, I don't know. But I got to paint that lava flow white eventually, and then add in the other colors, you know, the yellow, the oranges, the red, kind of bleed those in together so we can get some real cool lava effects on that. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So those are waiting patiently, and then until then, we just kind of sit back and relax. We got some company coming over earlier or later today a little bit. They should be here in a little bit. And then I've got the mess. Things are piling up. So I've got the sword or the dagger. Still got more models that I got to paint. I've got this ultrasonic cutter that I'm going to review. And that looks very, very interesting. So, yeah. Seems like we're doing okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. So I want to do a little update and show what we're talking about. Kind of give an update on this to see how this will work. And I need to scour the interwebs to not only do miniatures, but if I want to take one of these Space Marines and then make it bigger, how do you go about slicing it? And I know there's Luban and that other free site that I talked about that will do it. But my question comes in on how do you orientate it? I don't know. Or do you just cut it and don't worry about it? So because I'd like to do a bigger one for the model game store that I went to this past Thursday, because they have like open painting and then they have free games, Warhammer games, and Magic the Gathering, D&D, and a bunch of other stuff out there. So you don't have to pay to get in, so that's awesome. And then they have drinks and coffee and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, that's a bonus. So I was thinking about making a little bit bigger Space Marine, and then make it probably about, I don't know, what do you think? Maybe about 2 feet. I think 2 feet would be a good one for a Space Marine. And then I think that could work out pretty good. And if we do some of the Space Marines that we got over there, that could work out really well. So for those, let's show you what I'm talking about. Dun, dun. So this is resin printed there. This one is FDM printed. So I was thinking about doing this one. And he's got some cool stuff on there. I think this would be good at about 2 feet tall. And then I could just, print it, put it together, prime it, and then somebody could go through and somebody else could paint that since they're more lower accurate than me. So this one, this would be a bear because even on resin printing it, and I got to find the file. I've got it somewhere in my computer, but that would be a good one too. And eventually all the skulls on that actually looks pretty good. So I got to scour my files and see what I can find, but that one would look really good too. So it's either going to be that one or this one. I'm not sure which one we're going to do. So, and then we got that guy back there that we FDM printed, and he turned out pretty good as well. We didn't prime him, but yeah, the painting came out good for the most part. Yeah. Camera down. Camera down. Oh no. Wonder why. I wonder if something crazy going on. Well, anyway, if the camera's down there, there's not much I can do. So we'll just kind of do that. That's a little update for now. So we'll see how that ends up working. If the camera's not working, I apologize for that. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the Wi-Fi or I don't know. Still have audio, but no camera. Let me take a look. Let me see. What is that now? What does that do? Retouch on. Okay. Do that. What does that one do? Okay, now try to cycle through the camera and we'll see what happens. So, do we have camera now? Cockafoo says it's fine here. Okay, thank you, thank you. So anyway, like I said, I wanted to make a larger, like a 2 foot tall Space Marine. And since the camera, in case somebody missed it, we'll go back over it again. Why not? So there's this guy here that we ended up doing, and that's FDM printed. George says he's good now. Cool, already. So yeah, we've got this guy here. That'll turn out pretty good. I mean, that would look out great, being like 2 foot tall. And it's got some pretty decent details on there. And I think that would work, especially since I printed him in FDM. This guy is resin printed, but that would be a killer one to do as well. So that's an option. And then we did this one was FDM printed. So we painted that guy up. I didn't prime him. We just went in and painted, and that was kind of a bad idea, but still came out pretty good for the most part. You know, we got used some speed paints and everything, some good details. But yeah, I'd like to give that store a larger model, because they don't have any. And I think that'd be kind of cool to have a large Space Marine sitting on the counter. And then, yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. So that's what we got going on. So we'll continue. I think the wife is talking. We got some family coming over here, so I'm going to have to cut the stream. YouTube has been acting funny for me today. Oh, no. Oh, no. What are we going to do? I'll continue watching the print. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That would really help me out. So if you could do that, press that like button. Bing. Subscribe, ring that bell. Ding. Ding. Fries are done. And then, yeah, that would help me out immensely. And then when this finishes printing, we'll do another video and we'll see whether it printed or not. I have no idea. We'll see what happens, especially with those slim tree supports. I'm a little bit hesitant on those, but I don't know. We'll see. But the one thing we do know is the blue tack works great for supports. So if your model's wobbling or supports are broken off or whatever, I put that little piece of blue tack in there, grips the build plate great and the model, and that was awesome. So we're able to save this print. So whether we have, and it looks like it's doing great. So yeah, we can't beat that. So anyway, again, like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Share with friends, family, whoever else. I don't know. If you do, great. If not, that's okay too. And then we'll see you on the next video. All right, cool. Thanks, George. Thanks, Kakafu, however that was. Yeah, have a good one, and we'll eventually come back and we'll see what happens with that. So cool. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. Alrighty, good stuff. Good stuff.